All right, guys, welcome to episode 13 of the Take It As Gospel podcast. Today we've got a special guest who's just landed in Townsville a couple of days ago. Benn Larsen's with me. Welcome, Benny.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. So Benny and I, we went to school together at Brendan's boarding school. We sort of met each other at the start of grade 11. A few of the boys from Billow came in and started at the same time I did. And I suppose we'll just on the other side of the wall from one another in grade 12.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah. Next to each other, you had Spud with you. So.
Yeah, old Spuddy. Splooge.
Yeah.
Splougy.
Oh, my God.
But, Benny's currently living in Rockhampton with his girlfriend, Suze. Champion old bird, old Suze.
Yeah, she goes good.
And, also at uni at the moment, mate. So how about you sort of tell us a little bit about, your study and what you're doing for work at the moment?
Yeah, right. So at the moment, I'm currently studying education, secondary, giving that a red hot crack, and then doing a bit of disability support work. So it's pretty enjoyable work, eh? Like, it's good days are real good, and the bad days, I suppose, like anything, pretty ordinary, but the good days are real good. It's rewarding, it's enjoyable. So, I mean, half the time I'm fishing anyway, so can't really complain about that.
Mate, and just to sort of, piggyback off that, you're fishing, your local knowledge Snapchats you put up, mate. So tell us a little bit about local knowledge and how that sort of started, mate.
So local knowledge is a little series on the Snapchat. Typically comes out on a Thursday. So yeah. I got one of the fellas that I look after. We're always fishing, and he thinks he's a bit of a gun. Yeah. And so it sort of started off as like, he'd say some, he'd spin some rubbish, and then I'd be like, oh, yeah, righto. And then sort of just put my own little twist on it, give the serious anglers a bit of a G up, and act like I know what I'm talking about. I got no idea, but I suppose that's all a part of the fun, eh?
Mate, yeah, it's all entertaining, and you put that special font on it all the time as well,
yeah,
mate.
You got to get. I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah,
it's a good one, but
it's like the yellow sort of font. Yeah, mate. I'll be sitting at work sometimes, and I just see old Larso story, a bit of local knowledge, a little fish or something, mate.
Yeah, catch a few little grunter.
Yeah.
Barra.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, mate. And it's all about helping the local anglers, eh?
That's it, mate. You just got to, some fellas need a bit of a leg up, but... Yeah.
And obviously you don't get paid for it, mate. You're giving away free knowledge.
Free advice, mate. Russell Coit sort of style,
Yeah.
Just really trying to help the community out.
Yeah, bloody oath. So, in terms of the work you're doing at the moment, is that sort of helping you out? Do you think that'll go a long way to helping you when you eventually graduate and go into teaching?
I think in a certain way, I work with quite a few young fellas. That's probably the biggest, what would you call it, area that I work in. So I work with fellas that are from 12 years old up into just out of school. So most of that stuff with them is usually doing help with schoolwork and just sort of regulating a bit of routine and whatnot. So it's got a bit of carryover into teaching, which is good. And it's also, I suppose, once I finish my degree, if I could get into a special school or something, that'd be pretty prime, eh?
Yeah, for sure. And do you find that sort of work is pretty challenging?
At the start, it was real bad, eh? I just didn't have the patience for it, but I suppose it's one of them things you learn. It only takes you a few weeks to pick it up, and once you do, you're right then. So it's enjoyable and it's rewarding for what it is. I feel like there's not enough young fellas that really get into it and do it. We're starting to see a rise in young men going into the industry, which is awesome because, I know what I was like as a young bloke. You probably don't want to listen to your mum or your sister or anything for the whole day. You sort of, if you don't have that big brother or father influence, having someone there that can sort of play that role is pretty good.
Yeah. Bloody oath. Yeah. Because that's sort of... Zeppoon was doing that sort of work up in Rocky as well,
yeah,
wasn't
so
he?
I work for the same mob that he used to work for.
Yeah.
So that's Access Rec in Rocky. After he left, he told me, I might as well give it a crack, eh? See if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then you don't have to worry about it. And then the old girl sort of said to me, you need to start bringing in a bit more money. And because at that point in time, I was just doing the old IGA still. So
yeah.
Give that away. You can't really live on $150 a week.
Exactly right. I think everyone sort of has their turn at doing those shittier sort of jobs. The only sort of grocery store work I did, I think I was grade 10, I was working at Woolies, and fuck, I hated it.
Oh, it's rubbish, eh? It
Yeah.
is not good at all.
But I was just a front end bitch, so I was just
Check out chick.
check out chick. Copping shit from customers. You know,
God.
this was $3, not $4, and then they make someone go and get the tag.
And it says $4 on
Yeah.
it. They got no idea, eh?
So
It's always the oldies too. They think they run the joint, but
dollar saving here or there whenever they can. But yeah, mate. So basically, you lived most of your life in Billo.
yeah. So I spent the first 16 years of life in Billo, and then went up to boarding school, finished school, and then the family decided, instead of sending little bro to boarding school, we'll just move up there. Ended up working out like same sort of price anyway. Mumsy wanted a bit of a lifestyle change, and I suppose she got what she wanted, eh? So now the family's
Happy
all
wife,
up in
happy
Yeppoon.
life, mate.
Oh, that's it. Oh, big. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
So yeah, we just moved into a new house. Well, the family did, I should say. Moved the grandparents up from Bundaberg, so they live with us now. So yeah, it's good, eh? Everyone's pretty close together now. It's not 3 or 4 hours away. It's you know, so it's going all right.
That's it. Like on the podcast, I've had a few country boys, and we all sort of talk about how good it is, sort of growing up out in the bush a little bit. You know, I've had my time in the city and whatnot, and it's two completely different upbringings, but or like, you know, lifestyles as such. But you find you and the boys getting up to a bit of mischief in the younger days out at Billo,
Younger
mate?
days, yeah. There's a few wild ones. I remember a few parties where we brought the Brendan's boys back out. A couple of interesting videos come out from them.
Couple of incriminating ones for Keano.
There's some pretty bad ones. Yeah. But no, it's it was good. I used to love. I suppose I still love going out there. You know, like we'll go out for a mate's 21st or any sort of birthday, and it's always a good time to go catch up with them boys. Because you sort of miss, I suppose, like a lot of my mates that I used to hang around with when I was in Billo, they all came up to Brendan's at the same time anyway. So, you know, a lot of them boys are probably back, you know, living out there now. So, whether they're working at the mine or they're working for a local mob, so it's always good to go back and catch up with them fellas and see how they're travelling.
Yeah, bloody oath. Same for me. Like when I head back to Gladdy, like there's a heap of boys that are still, you know, living there or doing drive in, drive out, and always good to catch up. But I remember in grade 11, like when we all went out for the was it the grade 11 after party, or was it the grade 12 one?
No, I think it was grade 11.
Yeah, and I think it was Booch, myself. It was just us two that.
It might have been.
And then obviously all the boys that were at Brendan's, so you know, Callow and Chitty and I think Paddy Wilkie was there, Jaden Smith maybe,
Smithy,
Tommy and Spuddy, they would have been there. So
again, Jamie boys,
yeah, so that was wild. And I think then grade 12 it was George Fitzpatrick. I think he had a party.
Yeah, he had a good one actually. Yeah,
that was wild.
That was a big one. That one. Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember.
That was the first time Suze went proper cuss today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
A bit incriminating. She's probably going to blow up, but.
Oh, well.
No, she's alright. She's a sweetheart. But that was the first party that I'd seen her, like, properly get on the drink. And so that was a bit of a laugh. Her dad had to come pick her up at like 12 o'clock.
No.
And he rolled in, and Ian's got an old cruiser, so you could hear it coming down. You know, you could hear it coming down. And he got there, and you know, he said our g'days and whatnot. And poor Sue, she was like, not in a good way.
Yeah.
But she pulled it off. She reckons she got home well and sat in the bathroom for half an hour, trying not to spew, but she done well.
That's all right then. Yeah, I remember just waking up in the back of a ute, just feeling dusty. I was like, fuck, where am I? And then I sort of like climbed out of the ute, walked around the side, and I just see Booch just passed out. Like I think with the passenger seat reclined all the way back. I thought, fuck, I felt a bit dusty. And then when you're in those sorts of situations, all that's on your mind is like, I gotta get home.
Gotta get home. I just
gotta get home.
Want to be comfortable.
Yeah. And the thing is, like early morning out west, you know, I think it was, I would have been in December or late November at least, but it's fucking hot. That's all I remember.
The sun just beats down on you.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think we just went back up to George's, like where his house was, and then sort of everyone was asleep in there, and then I can't remember what we did, but we ended up hitting the road and driving back to Gladdy. I think I was under the limit. I hope I was, but you know, Just pay the old local cop off a few
Yeah,
balls,
pay
Joe.
him
No.
Oh, highway patrol.
He'd understand. The boys had just had a rowdy one.
He just wants the boys to have fun, mate.
Fucking but yeah, mate, you've when did you fly up here on Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. So we got up here Thursday, like mid-morning, which was good. I don't know why, but I had it in my head that it was going to be like a massive flight, like, take a while. And then...
Did you come just straight from Rocky?
So we flew Rocky, then we stopped in at Mackay.
Oh.
And then, so from Rocky to Mackay was like, I don't know, 25 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
And then the longest part of the whole trip was like the stopover in Mackay.
Yeah, right.
Because I had to refuel and do all this and that. Like,
so did you stay on the plane?
Or did we just stayed on the plane, so...
And then more people got on?
Yeah, when from Rocky, it was like half empty, Like there was not really many people, but then once we got into Mackay, just people just piled on, So...
That's weird, because from Rocky to Mackay is not a very long trip.
No, not
from
at
Mackay
all.
to Townsville is not a very long trip.
No.
It's just like, I can understand flying from Rocky to Townsville, but people getting on at Mackay, why wouldn't you just drive?
That like little stopover, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
That's like a half day trip if you get up early and go.
Exactly. You get up at like 6 o'clock, mate. You'd be there by lunchtime anyway.
Fuck yeah. I remember when we drove up here, Dad and I did it in 2 days from Brizzy.
Right.
Technically. So I knocked off work on the Sunday night at like 9 o'clock, and then we went straight from work to Gingin.
Yeah, right. So you used to stay in Gingin the night?
Yeah. So that's like, from Brizzy 4 hours, and then woke up at like, got out of there about 8:30 the next morning, and then got to Townsville at like 7:38.
Yeah, right.
Just knocked it over.
Yeah.
And it only felt like we did it in a day because we went all the way to Gingin on Sunday night.
Yeah. No, that's not too bad.
But yeah, no, so that was all right. But how are you enjoying Townsville, mate?
I'm enjoying it, I was a bit worried it was going to be even like real tropical and hot. So I was half stressing like when we were coming over. It's like umming and ahhing because we just got a bit of rain out in Rocky, like bugger all, probably like 10, 12 mil.
Yeah.
And like as soon as you get that bit of rain, and the clouds just disappeared straight up too, so it was just like humid as. Yeah. So it's been pretty ordinary weather. Like we had like 2 weeks of just a heat wave. It was just fucking hot. Like it just kept going and going and going, and then everyone was hoping we'd get a bit of rain. Yeah. We got rain for one day, and it was bugger all. And then the heat wave come back, and it was just humid. So I was stressed and thinking, come up here, it's going to be just as bad. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's quite pleasant, eh? I think, that's one of the things I've been sort of saying a bit. Like, Townsville gets hot, but Rocky gets fucking hot.
Yeah, and I think it's, I don't know what the climate is like up here, but Rocky and like out west, it's that dry heat. Like the wind's hot. Like it's not humid, so you can sort of deal with it. Yeah. But once it gets humid, it's just
you get all sweaty and sticky.
That was one of the worst things about boarding school, I reckon. Like going from below where it's just dust and it's just hot all the time to going to Brendan's, and then it was like you're in the dorms, middle of summer, it's been pissing down rain for a week. Yeah. That all the dorms are hot. There's like 60 blokes in the dorm, so the body heat's through the roof.
And all the boys are trying to come in for a cuddle or trying to fucking climb all over you.
Yeah, chitty. Yeah. He used to be bad. So I used to have my water bottle at the end of my bed. Yeah. And because I'd like wake up in the middle of the night sweating because it was so hot, need to rehydrate so I'm not fucking passing out in the morning. Yeah. He used to like reach over and grab my fucking water bottle and smash all my water before I could get to it. And I caught him in the act a few times. Like, we got done over one night, but so like where our room was, like straight outside was where Hanso used to sit on the chairs, and so
mate, I remember I moved in.
That's right. Yeah, when after Dino.
Oh, Dino invited a few of the boys and
a few of the ringers,
filled up our rooms. So I was like,
not really your crew, eh?
Oh, mate, not that they're not my crew. I just thought, fuck, I'm going to get distracted if I fucking stay in this room. So I was just like, I've got to get out of here. So I moved a couple of doors down to the boys because, none of those boys had any ambitions of sort of working too hard at their schoolwork. So
no, they were there for a good time, eh?
Yeah. Bit of bull riding and that's it.
Big Dino on the potty calf.
But yeah, fuck. So I've moved down into the boys' room with Chitty, Callow, and Lars for the final term of grade 11, and fuck, that was term 4 in every year. It's kind of like it's nearly over.
Yeah,
You're just trying to get through it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a bit of fun. Especially in grade 12, that term 4 was fucking mental.
Fucking hell, that was bad news.
Oh, dude, I'm surprised like there was no serious car accidents or
The amount of shit that used to happen, like. I don't know, a bit incriminating for Nev here, but do you remember when Nev had a few Bundy tallies down at the beach?
Yeah, and then
to drive back to dorm.
Joe was at the dorm. That's right.
I felt so bad for that. Peer pressure. Mate, he was a good driver, but old Nev, he was alright.
He was responsible.
The old Focus, mate, it was...
Yeah, sadly the old Focus is no longer with us after a little prank he had down in Brizzy. But that beach day, fuck. So I guess I'll tell the story for the listeners. So I think it was Sunday. No. So it was. I think that was the weekend we went down to Brizzy for the rugby sevens comp. So
yeah, righto.
I think we all got back at because we had the Monday off as a student free day. I think.
Yeah.
And then I think basically, I don't know. On the way back, I was like, "Fuck, we should do something tomorrow. We got day off, and it's a student free day, not a public holiday, so no one's going to be around anyway." I think the group chat got started, and then all of a sudden drinks gets mentioned, and then beach gets mentioned, and we're fucking on.
The boys are on.
So I don't think I got back to dorm until it would have been 1:30, 2 a.m. Monday morning, and having our good mate Nebs in dorm being the 18-year-old. He was the alcohol supplier that day.
That's right. I always forget that Nev was 18, so it's not as bad. But
So that's right. Anyway, so for me, it was a quick, 6-7 hours sleep and then wake up and then rally around all the boys. Before you know it, we're all heading down to the beach there. Just not the main sort of beach. It was a little bit up near where the Busbys lived.
Bay.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait, are you talking about...
We might be telling different stories here, I don't know. Or was it the one at Busby's? Because I know there was another one.
There was one at Busby's.
There was one at Cooey Bay one day. That was a bit of a...
Well, I'm thinking... Wait, did you come to the Busby one?
Possibly, I'm not sure,
Nah, mate, yeah. My memory's short. But I'm talking about that one specifically. Anyway, same sort of story.
Yeah.
Went and just got blind at the beach. I was drinking, cheap-as vodka. Like, in Yeppoon, there was this, bottle of vodka you used to be able to get. I can't remember the name or the brand of it, but it was it was only $14, $15, and it was 11 or 12 standard drinks.
Not the Divas, was it?
Could have been.
Divas, 2 for $20, mate.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. And it was like 11 or 12 standard drinks. I was like, fucking, that's me.
Might as well.
That's us, G. Go 2 of those, straight down the beach. And then, I just remember, towards the end of the afternoon thinking, fuck, I'm so sunburnt.
You just get proper cooked in the sun, too? Because you don't realise you're sitting there. You don't feel smashed because you're having beers, You're having a few drinks, so you don't feel the heat's not as bad.
Yeah.
A bit desensitized.
That's
and
right.
then you fucking look up and it's 4:30, 5 o'clock. Fucking peeling, looking like a tomato.
And, oh, mate, the one I'm talking about, it's just I've got school tomorrow. But, I mean, the one at the Busby's, I remember getting back to dorm and then shit, I gotta play mixed netball in an hour. So went down to the mixed netball courts, man. I was still pissed, and I was just going going pretty hard and whatnot on the court. But I just remember reeking of alcohol just coming through my pores. Oh, dude! But it was so fun, and they're just fucking days you wish you could live over 100 times.
That's it, and it's interesting to look back on it now. So, because I was doing a bit of the work in the dorms as well, seeing all the young fellas that were year 7s when we were finishing year 12, seeing them go through their little stage of going to the beach every weekend. And, that's because my younger brothers were all with all them boys.
Yeah.
You see all them doing the same sort of shit that we did, and I'm I shouldn't be letting him do this. But then at the same time, I'm this is what we used to do, and it's good innocent fun, They staying out of trouble for the most part, but
innocent fun until someone gets in the car.
Innocent fun until someone runs through the Cooey Bay pool sign.
Oh, mate, I told that story on episode 2.
Was that with
Polly?
Yeah.
So you were mentioning that one too, because you and I were both sort of defeated by that for sale sign, mate.
Yeah, Star Picket.
Oh, mate,
that could have done some proper damage.
They definitely knocked it down, and then it stabbed us. We didn't know how serious it was. I just thought, oh yeah, a bit of timber behind it. It's sort of cool.
Fold it.
Yeah. I got fucking just oosed by it. Fucking oos. Come a cropper, and then Lars has come through to finish it off for me. And then I think I remember you bending like one of them, but you still fucking still gave it a bit of a oos.
No, that was a. And then stood a good fight, mate.
I just remember rolling around to see Star Pickets, and then before I could tell you to stop, you were already fucking whacking it. Oh god.
Fucking
old Nowski knocking over bins and Polly stealing mango trees.
Big rose bush.
Oh, what is it? Yeah. What is that?
That's a mango tree.
It was literally like a little shrub.
Trying to start a fire down on the beach.
Oh, fuck! I forgot about that bit.
And do you remember Lammy getting like phone calls from Sheedy? Trying to find him because Lammy wasn't allowed. He wasn't meant to be out. So he just kept getting phone calls from Sheedy.
Oh, dude.
Because it was like, I think it was parent leave only that weekend because it was a grand final.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Lammy ended up getting like leave sorted.
Yeah.
And fucking poor bastard.
That's right. Because so for those that are listening, old Sheedy, he was like the head of boarding.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
so it was like basically the principal for boarding school or boarding, like the dorm. So he was a bit of the fun police, really.
Yeah, like
but he wasn't a bad bloke.
No, I was pretty fortunate. I got to work with him too. So after I finished school, I ended up going back working at Brendan's in the dorms, doing like supervising work. And Sheedy had to go on a bit of a break for a while, but he'd come back and he wasn't doing head of dorm stuff, but he's actually working with TH in McHenry.
Oh, yeah.
And so I used to do it, like I used to work with Sheedy and Terry all the time, and seeing it from Sheedy's point of view now, like looking back, you can sort of understand like why he was the way he was, but like, when you're 16, 17, you don't want to be, like, you want to go out and have a bit of fun, but he's just
That's it. He's got like, basically, he's in control of all the boys' livelihoods, basically.
Yeah, that's it. He's responsible for so many people.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I just remember one of my fond memories of boarding school was, like I mentioned before, term 4, grade 12. Sheedy's gone on long service leave.
Yeah.
And then Glenn Minto, our head of dorm, he went on long service too. So I was just like, we're all looking around like, well, who's in charge? And then
no one,
there was no clear answer. So I was just like, all right, well.
Who took over that head of board in that year? Was that Kath Minto?
Maybe.
I feel like she probably stepped in and...
But we all loved Kath.
Yeah,
she was
Kath
a legend.
was cruisy anyway.
But yeah, basically went from no one's in charge, so I guess I'm keeping my car keys on me 24/7. I guess I'm going downtown in my car straight after school to go get a bite with the boys.
Go to Macca's, go get a Frozone.
And like no one knew where we were, where we were going. We'd just like sneak back in, park the car, and like no one asked any questions too. I don't know. They might have raised it a few times, but I don't know.
I remember when we had Kiwi and Miss Worsley come into the dorm. And, like, they're awesome people. I love Rob and Sandy, like, I got the pleasure of working with them as well.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember when they first come in and, like, we'd all had the whole year, all our routines were set, like, even though it was bedtime, we could still, you'd stay on your phone until 10:30, 11 o'clock. I remember when Rob come in and he was like, nah, that's it. Righto, boys, it's 9:30, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah. Lights out, phones out. I was like, oh, shit, like...
Yeah.
I think it lasted about a week before he realised it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. That's it, eh? That's what, I really appreciated about grade 12 is, like, you could stay up and go on your phone or fucking watch a movie if you wanted to. But
they really sort of gave us that independence to actually, sort of do what we wanted to do.
Yeah,
Be a bit more responsible and accountable for shit, like, because if you're going to stay up until fucking 3 o'clock in the morning and then got to get up and go to school the next day, you got to deal with the repercussions of that, It's no one else's fault but yours.
100%. Especially like when we're doing all the like the pre-season, a lot of the morning trainings and shit like that. Like you wanted to go to bed early just so you get a good sleep.
You just fucking dreading running hills in the morning.
Yeah,
you'd be dreading fucking Cliffy getting there late because you'd have to run coat hangers.
Yeah.
Wouldn't bother him because he's fucking
fit as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Spuddy fucking struggling.
Yeah.
Big time on the coat hangers.
Oh mate, yeah. I get fucking a bit of PTSD from some of that shit.
Coat hangers, dead bugs.
Oh, dead bugs. I forgot about the old dead bugs. such an awkward bloody exercise. But yeah, mate, fuck. I reckon that was the fittest we've ever been. Fucking
shit, yeah.
In those years.
Term 4, grade 11. that was like the fittest I ever was, like the lightest I was. I remember like fucking, like I was just, every morning was like either morning training or pushing sleds. You mean Pilot used to go push sleds and shit in the morning every now and again. I was like super fit, and then went on school holidays and came back, and you know the first 2 weeks of holidays are always good.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we're going down to Nan and Pops. Yeah, right. I'll have a week off.
Yeah.
And then it turns into 2 weeks, and then it's like, oh shit, I've got to go back to school in 2 weeks, and then you've lost your fitness. You get back, and it's like second week in, TH is screaming at you in the pool. You're half drowning.
Making you swim the width of the pool under the water.
Oh,
after you've swam like 20, 30 laps.
Fucking yeah.
And done
Poor
100
Packy.
million dead bugs and dude, I don't know. Like the thing that annoyed me is I'd try and tell the boys like the slower you go and swim under the water, you conserve more energy, and then by the time you get to the other side of the pool and pop up, you're like still basically
You're right,
full
yeah.
breath. But the boys are like just freak out and they'd fucking swim as fast as they could underwater, and they get to like the second or third last lane and just be ready to come up for a breath. It's like, just go slow. Like, I used to just wait for everyone to go, then I'd just slowly come across.
Cruise along.
Yeah.
No, I always
It's not a
remember
race.
like having to do like 100 of them. Like when Packy was gone, poor bastard.
Poor old Packy.
Every single time, like Hanso knew, he's like, no, he's not going to make it. We're going to make him go anyway.
And they'd be talking shit with like Paul or Glenn on the fucking side of the field. Well, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. All right, that one didn't count. Will Packy.
Always be Packy too.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. But yeah, mate. Oh, they were fond memories. It's just like, it upsets me now that like all of Brandon's boys coming through won't have to ever put up with TH
Nah,
and
he's gone now, eh?
the mush fucking spraying them.
Mm.
I always tell, like, when I moved down to Bridge, I was trying to explain to the boys like what our high school footy coach was like, and like I just said he's got a big mustache that covers his whole mouth.
Looks like the Lorax.
And he's got no teeth. And in grade 12, they put him in a pretty good paddock because he was...
He blew up, old Tez. No, he's he lost his job up at Brendan's too.
Oh,
Poor
mate.
bastard.
That's all right.
Nah. Like I was still working there. Actually, no, I would have been just after I left, and I was talking to one of the boys about it because I noticed that he wasn't coaching at the footy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's to go here? Because Scotty Minto ended up taking over, and you know, Scotty's a great bloke. Like he, you know,
He's a rugby league immortal.
He's a legend,
goat.
mate. You know,
Yeah.
you can't deny it. But yeah, so Scotty ended up taking over for Hanso, and I think, you know, like first season coaching sort of struggled a little bit, and I know myself, like I started coaching under 16s this year for Cap Coast.
Yeah.
And we had a shocker, man.
True.
On paper, you look at the team, you think, fucking hell, these boys are going to go all right. And then we sort of had a bit of a shocker. We got stitched up, but we had this big fella come in from out west.
Yeah.
Like proper big boy. He's a freak.
White boy?
Yeah, Angus Stewart, his name. He's a good kid too. And we were playing against Tigers. I don't even know what their suburb they're from in Rocky, but we were playing against Tigers. And this little halfback who would have been like fucking 45 kilos wringing wet has taken the line on. He's gone to throw a big dummy. And Angus is a big boy. He'd be like easy 110, 120 kilos.
Yeah.
Has just folded him. He gave him like whiplash, Like this poor kid had to get stretchered off the field.
Fuck.
Like done a job. Like wasn't a dirty tackle or nothing, but just
fucking
a big boy.
Yeah.
And so that was our first game. We were going to actually like proper win, you know, get a few points on the board. Yeah. But because it got called off due to injury, they were like, oh no, it's a draw.
Oh, filthy, mate.
And then I think like a week later, they canned the Rocky comp for COVID, but they let all the AFL keep going.
Really?
And the rugby, yeah, AFL and rugby kept going, but
Fuck.
they just canned the league. So it was a bit of a...
Jesus.
I think they were a bit worried for a bit, like especially the school. They thought they were going to can the school comp as well.
Yeah.
And our boys, so they run it weird this year. So instead of playing in the local comp, they just played Aaron Payne. So they got to choose, you know, do you want to play Aaron Payne Cup or do you want to play in the local footy? Yeah. And I think TCC first and Brendan's first opted to play Aaron Payne. Yeah. So the Brendan's seconds team, which is made up of all the year 11s, they played Grammar first in the grand final and pumped them. Like,
bullshit.
Killed them, man.
Oh, fuck. I knew they beat them, but I didn't know it was like the seconds team.
Yeah, it was the seconds team. Oh,
No.
Because the first boys they were all up for Aaron Payne and whatnot. Because I was talking to Mum about it. She's like, oh, they haven't won a game, and I was like, oh, how'd they make the fucking grand final if they hadn't won a game?
Yeah.
And then I was talking. Who was I talking to? It must have been Scotty Minto or Nathan Doyle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Doyley. He's the head of rugby league at Brendan's at the moment.
I don't know if I've met him, but I've heard people talk about him. Yeah.
I was talking to him, and he was saying that first didn't win a game in the Aaron Payne, but like the seconds team that won the grand final, it pumped everyone the whole season. So I was like,
that's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Go through beat all the other schools' first teams, and it's like our reserves basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, man, that's wild.
So they're a pretty good, they're a good bunch.
So was that this year?
That was this year, yeah.
So next year they're gonna be fucking.
Yeah, they'll be freaks next year.
See what happens when TCC boys.
That's it. They come through.
But if you fucking win the grand final against grade 12 teams and you're grade 11,
that's it.
That's unreal. Yeah, I've been itching to get back to Yeppoon and just go in and see, some familiar faces, see all the boys that have come up, see if any of them fucking remember you. I probably wouldn't recognise half the boys that'd all be grown up.
It's crazy, like how much they've come from being like, them little year 7s that were there when we
just
were finishing school, to what they are now. Like they're young men now, and most of them are starting to get their shit together anyway, or somewhat. But as much as you can as a 17-year-old.
Fuck yeah.
But they've come a long way, them boys, and
I reckon we should just go back and see them right before the end of grade 12 and say, boys, we going to schoolies or what? just fucking go with them.
Going back for toolies.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's all right next year. Hopefully they open it up, mate. Cause
can you imagine if we graduated this year and couldn't go to schoolies?
Oh, you'd be rotten, wouldn't you?
Dude, because we had so much
bad
fun.
For them bastards. Our schoolies was pretty good, eh?
Fuck, man. I still tell people to this day, best week of my life.
It was good. It was fucking... I just remember seeing Mooney getting around on crutches, man. That was when we were still in the moon boot. Yeah. And the first couple of days, he was on the crutches, and then I think he might have lost the crutches for a few hours on one day and then realised, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Chitty getting glassed. Do you remember that happening? We were down on the beach.
I don't know.
And some bastard threw a bottle over the fence. And fucking cleaned him up, man. Out of everyone that was there, we were standing at the back of the mosh pit. Yeah. And fucking of all people.
Were you at least expected to get hurt at the back of the mosh?
You're thinking and he's like, oh, someone just glassed me. What do you mean? He's fucking got his phone torch out and we're looking around, and it was this fucking bottle of 4X. Someone just lobbed it over the fucking fence and cleaned him up.
4X is my drink of choice in grade 12. Oh, I used to love. That was when Milton Mango was such a big thing. Yeah, that
was a big thing.
We're getting around the old mangoes.
I was a big cider fan in year 12. I didn't mind the old Summersby's, mate. They were, what is it, $20 for a 10-pack?
Yeah,
I think so. Them, mate. You get charged up for the night.
Fucking oath. Yeah, it was. I remember there was always someone because us being pretty close with the boys that were in the grade above us, they'd always pull us a favour and. If we hit them up, they'd go buy us drinks, or we'd give them our card to buy it for us. We were like Clay Langford. He bought me drinks one time, and I think Gloss, he was always pretty handy if he was in town.
What's he doing now? He's not up here anymore, is he?
No, he's down playing for Tweed.
Yeah, right.
I think he's living in Goldie or Burleigh.
Yeah, right.
So I caught up with him once because I was sort of he moved down. A month or so, a couple of months before I moved up here, so didn't get to do too much with him, but yeah. So, mate, when are you graduated?
For uni,
graduating, yeah.
So at the moment, I've just gone back to part time.
Yeah.
Because I picked up so many hours at work.
Yeah. And
I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I sort of had a bit of a fall off with uni this year. I don't really enjoy the uni lifestyle at all. That's one thing I've never perfected it. I can't.
Yeah.
I sort of struggle with that self-motivation to get up and do uni sometimes, especially if it's over the computer.
Yeah.
If I got to get up and go to a class, it's fine. It's sweet. Because, you got to sort of be a bit more accountable and be there. But this year in particular, having all the COVID shit go on.
Yeah.
You got to get up and log in and go to the Zoom lecture. No one can be fucked to get up and log into one of them.
Exactly.
So I've gone back to part-time, proper part-time. I dropped back to 3 classes initially and thought, I'll see how I go. But then I had a couple double credit point classes this year. So as much as it was 3 classes, it was still a full-time load.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to just 2 classes a term. So, whenever I finish that, so a couple of years.
Fuck yeah. And the thing is, like, it's not what you're paying for. Like, you didn't sign up to be learning over a fucking Zoom meeting.
No,
like,
exactly.
If you're going to go to uni and you're going to pay all this money for it, like, at least, you got to get your money's worth.
Oh, the only thing I was dirty on big time, they had, you had to pay the student amenities fees, and they still made us pay the amenities fees, even though the campus was closed. I was like, what are these lot doing?
Dude, I used to hate those at Griffith. Oh, Griff TAFE.
Yeah, because they'd come up and you'd be like, so I don't know how they do it at Griffith, but at CQU, if you didn't pay it on time, or you didn't pay it before a certain date, they'd cut you off from being able to access your classes. And so there was one Friday, and usually, you go and pay it and you got to wait 24 hours. So there was one Friday, I had an assignment due, or a quiz or something, and I hadn't paid it, and so they fucking locked me out, and I was like, oh shit, here we go, I'm not going to be able to do this. I remember emailing my lecturer, and I got it bounced back to me, and it's like, oh, this person is out of the office for on holidays or something.
Oh no.
So I had to go to the Dean of Education and be like, or whatever you call them, the high up one, and I was like, oh mate, look, this is what's happened. He's like, oh no, you're right mate, don't worry about it, it's all good, we'll open it up for you on Monday. He's like, we'll just leave it for the weekend, have a bit of time, study for it if you need to.
Oh, what a legend.
I was like, yeah, here we go. And then Monday come around, and it wasn't I couldn't log back in, and I was like, fuck, what's going on here? And it was because it had to be a business day, Saturday, Sunday aren't business days, so the uni didn't process the the payment until Monday, so then I had to wait until Tuesday to sit it, and it was just a fucking ordeal.
Fuck, what a stitch up.
So,
yeah, that's shit, eh? I remember we used to get them at Griffith too, and it just always came at the wrong time. Yeah. You'd have, I don't know, when I was living down there, I'd have my electricity and, water bills coming quarterly. Whether it be your car rego or fucking, I don't know. I couldn't afford shit back then, so.
No, God, no. I suppose you had the car and bike rego too.
Yeah, I was paying double trouble. Fucking, oh, yeah. But my bike's not regoed anymore.
Yeah, right on.
Police don't need to know that, though.
No.
Well, I mean, not that I ride on the road. Sometimes I take a squirt out here and just to give it a kick over, I'll do a lap around the block. But it's handy to have a regoed bike when you're riding out in the national parks or out in the trails.
Right.
Just
so you have to have rego to ride.
Yeah, you do, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I've still got my number plate on, so it looks like I'm, doing the thing. I went for a strap today, just up at probably 25, 30 minutes north of Townsville, and just off the Bruce, and I sort of did a bit of research, and people saying, oh, you can't ride there anymore, and then some saying, oh, you can't, but we still do. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go for a look. Went by myself, and then I actually end up filming the whole day.
True.
Yeah, so I'm going to put together a little vlog.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so thought, fuck, I'll give this a whirl, because I thought a bit of content I could chuck up on the old YouTube account.
Mate. Yeah, shit, yeah, fill in a bit of time.
Yeah, and I don't know, I quite enjoy doing the old video editing stuff when I put together the videos for this thing, and I just thought, fuck it, let's give it a crack, because if you're going out and you're doing something interesting, someone else might find it interesting, so why not?
That's why you just film on the GoPro.
Well, I was filming on this phone here, just doing a bit of these ones, just heading out, I'm now an influencer.
You get
someone
verified
sponsor me.
soon.
No, where's my blue tea? No. So I just did it on the old work phone, and took a few clips, loading up the bike, and then just when I pulled up, took a few videos, just a couple 10-second clips here and there of what's happening.
Yeah, nice.
And then I was just went it's really good terrain, but really rocky.
Yeah, right.
It's rainforesty, but really rocky. So I was having a good hard fang, and I was by myself too, so I was shitting bricks a little bit, because if I come a cropper bad enough, I don't know if I'll be able to get out of here.
Yeah.
And surely enough, on the way back to the car, I was just, I don't know, I think I was going down this hill, and in the vlog you'll hear it, I'll pull up for a break and I'm sort of talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, bike's going all right. I probably pumped up my tyres a little too much. I'm not too happy with the front tyre at the moment. I should probably let a bit of air out. And I mentioned that 2 or 3 times. And then sure enough, I was like, nah, fuck it, it'll be right. On the way back, I was just going a bit too hard downhill. I've hit a rock and then my front end just fucking just spat out. And then I've just like gone, boys, got shit whipped onto the ground and like slid. And I had the GoPro on the side of my head, snapped like the mount. So I fucking hit
a proper one.
Yeah, I hit my head pretty hard, I think. But that
Bit
was
of
all good.
concussion, mate.
Nah, mate, you know,
That'd be right.
copped worse on the footy field.
Yeah.
I was like, so I scratched all up my arm. You probably can't see it on the old video there, but
A few scars, mate. Stick scars anyway.
yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, this when a fucking dog bit me when I was trying to save this little infant.
That sounds like a Hanso story. Do you remember the dog latched onto his arm, but he still ran the field and scored the try?
With the dog hanging off it. Fuck, I was like, mate, you're an idiot.
Oh,
But yeah, fuck, he had some stories, TH.
oh, they're all shit, dude. Like, no goods ones.
Yeah, none of them.
But it was just because it was him. You thought, fucking, better laugh. I'm gonna be in strife here anyway.
Oh, dude. Yeah, better laugh. Otherwise, he'll give me penalties at training.
As for Keano, he didn't laugh at my joke last night. Righto, boys, get on the 50. Oh.
Yeah. Jack Kerman did not laugh.
Jack Kerman.
Never got any of our names right.
No.
Old
I reckon
type.
he just done it intentionally, eh?
Yeah.
See
yeah.
how far he could push it.
Sure that. More than Dean, more than Jake. Breakfast time.
What a way to wake up.
Oh fuck, mate. But yeah, so I guess with your study, like, are you looking to hang around and see Keano? You're just mentioning Sue's got work, which is awesome.
She killed it, like, for uni. Eh? She graduated with first class honours.
Fuck.
So she was like, she's good at what she does. So she was pretty lucky. She's got a job for a mob in Rocky.
Was she doing speech pathology?
Yeah, speech pathology. So yeah, she killed it. Eh? Like, I love listening to her when she talks about it. You know, like, you can just tell she's passionate about it.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, the plan is probably to stick around in town. You know, like, ideally, like, I'd love to go back and work at Brendan's and do that, but I don't think CQ is going to be our only place that we live. Like, I don't know, it's sort of and ah about what's going to happen, but like, I'd love to move. I'd love to go overseas for a bit. Go over to the UK or Japan or something like that. I suppose if you go to Japan, you got to learn how to speak Japanese. But
it's a fucking shame, isn't it?
I can still count to 10, mate. So
there you go. Ich ni
san shi go roku shichi hachi kyuju.
That's all you need to know, because when you go to Bottler, you can say, "Get me fucking knee of those." Just, g'day, mate. Can you get me each of those? He's like, "What the fuck's this crazy Australian on about?"
Yeah. So no, I'd like, any sort of job. You know, a job's a job. You know, if you get it, you can take it. But I'd love to go back and do a bit of work at Brendan's, just to, you know, I suppose, like, I was like you. We didn't start until year 11, but the culture that's there, like, you get right into it. Eh? Like, I love it. I still go back there every now and again and go and see the staff and whatnot. But yeah, it'd be alright to go back and teach there. But I'd also I'd love to come up here or go down south a bit, go over to Perth maybe. I'd love to go over to Western Australia.
Fuck yeah.
I'm keen to go over there for a bit of a holiday. So
yeah, I reckon. I reckon WA doesn't get the props it deserves. Like, not that I've ever been there. But people think of WA, they just think like outback. Like, they don't realise that it's so many nice coastal places over there.
It's beautiful. I
want to go over too and have a look, because my perception of WA has changed dramatically since high school. Like, I've actually realised, there's actually some nice spots over there.
It's gorgeous, eh? Like, that's Suze and I sort of talk about it every now and again. Like, our 5-year plan. Like, I'd love to have a big troopy set up, like Land Cruiser troopy, and go for a lap around Australia. I reckon that'd be sick. So hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years we can sort that out. I know, like, that's a fucking long time, and a lot of shit can go down, but like, that's one thing I'm proper keen to do is get one of them and go for a bit of a lap around. So
fuck yeah. It's the camo at work. Him and I've been talking about, like, he's been sending me a few video links just of all these decked out vans.
Yeah, right.
Like, not like old school vans, like, you know, the transit sort of vans, like the ones that do the deliveries and shit like that, like proper tall ones where you could do like a whole kitchen and a bed and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I wouldn't mind doing one where it's like the bed, like, this should be a water bottle, sorry folks, where the sort of like bed sort of goes up against the wall of the bed goes up against the wall of the van. That way I can like chuck my moto in.
Yeah, right. Oh shit.
That'd be pretty sick.
Well, that's what Zepp and Kelsey are doing at the moment. They're doing one of them up, eh?
Doing a van up.
Yeah, Stepper sent me a fucking. He was telling me about it the other day that they're doing one of them up. So
Fuck.
I don't know if they got like a proper big one or if it's just like a small little cozy sort of thing. But yeah, I think he said because he's coming up to Yeppoon for Christmas actually. So
Fuck
I
yeah.
get to see him and even Nev's coming up too.
Fuck.
Nev's coming up, so it'll be all the boys back in town.
I'll
Bar
have to see if
Keano.
I'm gonna have to see if I can come up on a weekend or something.
Come down for a trip,
I think
mate.
I've got to work Christmas. I think so.
Same here. It's a bit of a
do you?
stitch up, but I work Christmas Day. I've only got like 2 hours, but so
Oh, that's all right.
it's only one client. He's a good fella, but he's like our age,
Oh,
and he's in a chair, and he's just a top quality bloke, eh? Like as much as he's in the chair, he's like up here, like mental and what he can do.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, eh?
Yeah, wow.
So they've got him. He was telling me the other day. So he's been in a chair his whole life. But they got him to like stand up with assistance.
Yeah.
Like holding onto a bar in front of him, could pull himself up and stand for like 3 or 4 seconds.
Shit.
And as someone with no leg muscles or anything, like pulling that off's pretty impressive, I reckon.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
But he was stoked, like telling me about it. You could just see like he was proper like fuck yeah, like
Fuck yeah. That must be like some of the rewarding things of
Yeah.
your job.
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
just
yeah,
seeing
like-
that shit.
seeing the growth like that some of them have. There's a young fella I work with ADHD, and he's just like I don't know. I sort of look at him as like a little brother, and like he's come a long way. Like,
Yeah, awesome.
So his schoolwork and all that sort of stuff was like pretty subpar at the start of the year, but he's been working with a few different support workers. He works with a lady who's she's got all these teaching degrees or all these degrees related to education. And so she sort of tells us like, right, this is what you got to do. So if you can do this with him, and like to see how far he's come just in the space of like 6 to 8 months, even over COVID, like his marks went up over the COVID shit, like not being able to go to school.
Fuck.
So
Yeah,
I was
well,
like-
it's probably because there's no distraction.
No
when you can do
distractions.
it,
He's at home
yeah.
by himself, sort of.
Does he realise he's come a long way? Does he know that
I think
he's
so.
achieving higher things?
I think so. And his mum's pretty good with like letting him know, like,
Congratulating
like you're doing real well. So,
That's good, eh?
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's all kids like that need to know is that they're doing a good job and they're, they are progressing. And once they get that sort of motivation and fuels them to
Keep going.
yeah.
So
That's awesome.
no, it's a
No,
pretty. He goes alright, eh? Fun
Yeah,
little
fucking
fella.
oath. Yeah, it's it'd be I'd imagine you'd have to have a bit of patience as well in
Yeah.
a role like that.
I think we mentioned earlier, like at the start, like when I first started doing it, it was just hard, like
Yeah.
you have these expectations of what's happening and what's going to go on, and sometimes it doesn't really line up with what actually is happening. So first few weeks were pretty tough, like just getting used to even just going between like different people that I was working with, like old mate who's in the chair, you can sit here and just have a yarn with him like it's nothing, it's normal. And then you go to someone else and like it's completely different, they're non-verbal, they can't do this, or even if they are verbal, they just don't have the energy to talk or hold conversation.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a test for myself, like going between, you go and see this person and you go see this person and whatnot. But I think it took me a while to realise, but at the end of the day, it's just like you're just there to, you're not even there to help them, but you're just there to just be there.
Just sort of be present.
Yeah, just be present. Like that's all some of the fellas need, eh? Especially, like I think we even touched on it a bit earlier as well. Like if you don't have that like male influence, then sometimes you miss out on a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what some of them fellas need, especially the young fellas. Like the older fellas, they're alright. They're pretty set in their ways. I've got some fucking stories about them.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. But like one of the old fellas, he he's a bit of a perv.
Yeah.
And so he goes out to the clubs.
Bit like myself.
Yeah. But he goes out to the clubs.
Yeah.
So like he'll go out on like a Friday and Saturday night.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, like he gets out, but he doesn't realise he's staring.
Yeah.
And so every now and again he'll come unstuck. He'll be staring at a Sheila, and her boyfriend will come over and
Have
blow
a
up
go,
and be
yeah.
like, "Fuck off, you old rah rah rah."
Oh,
And then I think like once he starts talking, they realise, oh shit, like Probably shouldn't have done that, but
yeah.
he's a bit of a crack up, that old bastard.
And you get that. I reckon you get that a bit in Rocky too. Fucking blokes coming over thinking like, oh,
all the cow cockies come into town,
Yeah.
mate. Do you get many cow cockies up here or what?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I mean, we had the old PBR rodeo the other day up here, the grand final, I think. So there's a lot of ringers in town.
Yeah.
All good fellas though. Most of them all good fellas. You know, you get the occasional, but that's like every group. You know.
Dino, he's a good ringer.
Hey, he's a good ringer, mate. Old Dino, repping the 4680 from Barua.
God's country there, mate.
Yeah. Fuck, he used to bang on about Barua.
Yeah, me and Dad at Barua.
And Durack.
I
better tell that story, actually. I better tell that story. So old Dino, I mean, there'd be a lot of people that listen to this podcast that would be fond of old Dino from Gladstone. He was telling me on time, I think he was having a bit of a piss up at his house, and they had some U-Butte sound system set up. And I think they were inside just blasting music. And I think his old fella passed out, I think, on the couch.
Something like that.
Anyway, so they just cranked the music, just cranked the volume. And then Dino was telling the story. He goes, it was so loud. He's just like, so we just fucking cranked it. It was so loud we had to go outside. So we like shut the doors, and then they like went outside and listened to it outside while these old boys passed out on the couch. I think
Permanent hearing damage.
Yeah, they would have thought it was the funniest thing too.
Dino and Durack, that's a fucking combo, isn't it?
Fuck, mate, yeah. It's just, oh, mate, yeah, me and Durack. How many times I heard that? Oh, me and Durack. I think it was never Durack and I, just me and Durack. But yeah, fuck. I don't know. It depends on how long the boys are in Yeppoon for, but I might have to see if I can sneak down for a weekend, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think we got to tee something up. I think Nev is I think it was his last day out on the water today or yesterday, maybe. So I think he's coming back he'll be coming back up to Yeppoon soon.
Fuck yeah.
And then I don't know when Zep's coming up. I think he's coming up a few days before Christmas. And
yeah, that'll be right.
So,
yeah, I've I don't know. It's a bit depressing. Like, I've sort of got to work through the Chrissy period.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I knew that would probably be the case. Me being the new fella in the office, like, got to earn your stripes, and
that's it.
But the thing is, like, over Chrissy, and like, it's not going to be too busy. Like, unless there's, I don't know, fucking fatal car accident or exactly. You know, something like in terms of news. But and like, maybe it is smarter to work over Chrissy, because then you can take your holiday leave like at Easter and be like, well, I worked Chrissy, that sort of thing. Like,
that's it.
So yeah, no, like, it'll be right, and I think I'll be able to do a little bit of work from home too, which would be handy.
That'll be alright.
So I'm not too upset about it. I was a little bit, you know, not depressed, but I was a bit down the dumps a little bit, because I was like, fuck, like, I just need something to get me through. And I was like, usually at the end of the year, you know, you're looking forward to your time off, and like, to not have that, it's just like, plus I usually always have time off, and like I usually take like the 20th of December off, so I can have like my birthday off on the 21st.
Yeah, right.
But nah, I've got a late birthday too, so that sucks. But
it's a bit ordinary, eh?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Nah, that's it.
But yes, and mate, there's a few little segments we usually do on the old podcast. I should have prepped you a little bit for
that's
it,
all right,
but you might have some off the top of your head. The recent one we've been doing is what's grinding your gears.
What's grinding my gears?
So, you know, it can be anything from fucking, I think we've had slow walkers has been one. Not being able to dance in the clubs, that was one of mine from a few weeks ago. But
I think you already know what I'm going to say here, don't you?
Oh, mate. I'm not sure.
People parking on my lawn. That's absolutely grinds my gears, mate. So I don't know. For the people listening at home, I've recently started to invest some time into my lawn. So I've been watering it, putting a bit of fert down, you know, trying to get it looking schmick. Especially coming into summer, you know, you want to have a good lawn, mate. You know, might put a little cricket pitch in, I suppose. You know, we never know, but
get to roll the arm over, mate. You know, once a year.
A few fucking spinners in there.
Yeah.
But nah, so everyone's been pretty good. So I live with my missus and her younger sister, and like, everyone's pretty good. Like, there was a few incidents parking on the lawn, but everyone's sort of starting to get the idea now. Don't park on his lawn, because he's going to get the shits.
He spat the dummy a few times.
I've spat the dummy a few times to carry on a bit, but so, but our, I'd say brother-in-law, just about anyway, come up the other week, and like he'd been told, don't park on the lawn.
Yeah.
Just don't do it, mate.
It's not worth it, mate. It's not fucking worth it.
And I'd come home, like I'd just finished watering the lawn too, so it was like it was wet.
Yeah.
And then we'd gone out to do something and come home, and he's parked on the lawn. I was dirty, mate. That was.
Mate.
So that's been giving me the shits recently.
Fuck, mate. You can't blame you. Can't blame you at all. Especially, we're pretty usually in drought 3/4 of the year here in Queensland. Anywhere north of fucking sunny coast is usually drought.
That's it.
Even up here, we had a bit of rain the other day, which is nice, but it's still looking a bit dry.
Yeah.
It was interesting today when I went riding. It was pretty green up that way, but it's sort of like rainforesty sort of area. But yeah. But in terms of what's grinding my gears, what grinds my gears is when I pull up to my local Woolworths. And I've got to basically run inside because there's a few crackheads getting around with. Yeah. I was telling you before, I saw a couple pushing around just empty trolleys, just doing laps of the car park. Yeah. It's like, no, I couldn't see any high vis vests on them, so I thought these aren't trolley boys. So that sort of grinds my gears a little bit. Also, that's I'm doing the old. I'm sort of snitching a bit here, but I'm doing the old cash jobby. I'm just paying the old landlord in cash, which is Brody, my cousin, off the books. So doing that, and that's like there's a Combank ATM over at that Woolworths, and fuck, mate, like you're a target when you see like, pulling out my monthly rental in cash, and then just fucking like putting it in the pocket and running, eh? So it grinds my gears when I can't be safe in my own neighbourhood.
Like you're going to get rolled.
Oh, yeah,
I'll start taking your shoes soon.
Oh, 100%. And another one is any favourite quotes or motivational quotes or... See, the thing is with me, I'm always... Like, we've heard a million from old TH.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably where I draw mine from is... If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And I always sort of thought, Terry's a bit of a philosopher, not realising it was a quote from Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, Wayne Bennett's book.
So I thought, maybe he's a bit of a philosopher, this old bastard. But no, he's just...
I reckon TH is like a bootleg Wayne Bennett. Like, tries to be.
He'd have to be, yeah. Oh, well. He goes all right. He knew what he was doing. I can't believe he's giving it away, like, so early.
Yeah.
I thought he would have... I suppose school probably won't fucking let him coach anyway.
Yeah. But imagine if he just went and joined forces with TCC or something like that.
Nah, he'd go to grammar with fucking Minto.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, imagine that. Just turn them into a powerhouse league school.
Well, they had a few good years, eh? They won Compro, I think, not back to back.
That was like fuck yeah. That was like Benny Condon's year.
Benny Condon, yeah.
Coppos.
Was that Coppo? Did Coppo graduate that year too?
Oh, maybe. What year was that? Was that like
2017, I think. 2018, I don't know.
Yeah, because Coppo was a year below us.
Yeah, oh right.
So
yeah,
that was their year.
But yeah,
I've ran into him a few times up here at like Cowboys things.
Yeah, right.
He had a bit of a yarn.
Yeah,
good fella, but but yeah, fuck. And then I was like, we're talking about it before. NBA season just around the corner. The preseason is officially underway. They had a short break due to shortened seasons because of COVID. Your Rockets, mate. Looks like there's a bit of talk about Harden maybe being on the trade block.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I only started really watching basketball when I was maybe, I don't even know, 15, 16, like sort of when I went to Brendan's. Keano was probably the first. You probably put me onto a bit of ball. I remember the old fucking late nights grinding 2K. But,
oh, fuck, mate. We had some battles.
Oh, it was bad.
I just remember this every time Big Bull off the beat got the ball. Big Bull off the beat. Like, who knows what he's doing now, but you were always a Rockets.
I was always been a Rockets fan. I think it come from James Harden and Dwight Howard when they were playing together. Like, I was like, oh, it's like the new Shaq and Kobe, This is when Dwight was actually balling out. And then... so yeah, I've been a Rockets fan since then, but if Harden leaves, mate, I might have to be a bit of a turncoat.
Yeah, jump ship.
So, but if he gets to Brooklyn, I don't think they can get him there. But
yeah, I think he made a list of preferred destinations, and on that list there was like Brooklyn, Milwaukee. Oh, imagine that.
If him and Giannis were together, that'd be. Oh.
They're also talking of Miami, the Heat.
True. Yeah. Right.
feel like there was another team too, but I can't quite remember.
Mm.
But Rockets played today, and obviously John Wall's been traded to the Rockets for us.
Did he play today?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And Boogie Cousins played.
Boogie played. True.
Yeah, they both scored like 15 points apiece, I think. And
yeah, because it's been like 2 years since Wall's played. Played a game.
Dude, he's
What
been
did he
out
do?
so
Achilles.
long. I think so.
Poor bastard.
I think he might have also done ACL. Oh, I don't know.
Everything.
Old Clay Thompson's just torn his Achilles.
Yeah, that's
Poor
probably
bastard.
who I was thinking of. Clay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fucking poor bastard. Just
Yeah.
recovered an ACL injury and then
yeah,
does that.
it's shocking. Eh? What about Russ getting thrown around?
Yeah.
That's actually disappointed me. Eh? After he left OKC, obviously not by choice, but
Yeah.
since then they've just sort of thrown him around like he's not a high caliber player. You know,
Yeah.
like he's a
Well-
franchise player.
I think he'll fit in a lot better at the Wizards.
Mm.
I saw some footage the other day of them all like training and playing together.
Yeah.
And you just watch him and train, like his energy is just another
Oh,
level.
it's unmatched, eh?
But him and Bradley Beal, it's kind of like, I don't know, with Houston when him and James are playing together, it's sort of like two alphas, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Like,
can't have two super ball dominant players and expect it to work out how it was before.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, he was. I was dirty at Houston when they got rid of Clint Capella.
Yeah.
And because now they're trying to get him back, I think.
Oh, right,
But
yeah.
I don't think they'll be able to. Like him and Harden together were
Yeah.
so
Fucking
good.
so good, the old pick and roll.
That's it. And he was young too. Like young, still had a lot of potential. And they just got rid of him and they tried to play small ball and it was like
Just doesn't work.
it doesn't work. Especially you come up against a team like with any sort of dominant big man. They just kill you, man. You can't have like who'd they have fucking playing center?
I think they had like PJ Tucker
PJ
playing
Tucker.
a lot of centre, yeah.
Who's that? What's he like 6'8"?
Yeah, oh mate, it might even be smaller. Yeah,
you
it doesn't work.
No, exactly.
But yeah, it's there's been some movement. Like, the thing I like about Russ to Wizards is he's playing under Scott Brooks again, and that was his coach in OKC for most of his career.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so me being a Thunder fan, it's going to be a fucking interesting season because there's literally like, we got Al Horford, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to be a star, but I think so.
It'll be interesting to see where they go. Like Sam Presti's the GM. He's made some big moves, in terms of trades and potential picks. Like
he's like set him up for the future. Big time.
How long you reckon it'll take him to execute Is it going to be like Gus's 5-year plan?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, because like the only picks that are going to maybe pay dividends is like, I think we got like the Rockets and Clippers like 2025, 2026 picks. So maybe by then, if they're starting to rebuild, we might actually get good picks. But it's just a wait and see, I suppose. It's the thing with like when you get future draft picks, 5-6 years in advance, like they could be anything.
That's it. Yeah, you never know.
That's like how Celtics got like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and all.
True. Yeah, that was all from like.
I think it was like the trade with Brooklyn they did when they sent Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce to the Nets, just pretty much stole their future.
Yeah.
And then obviously Nets went to shit, and then Boston just inherited all their picks.
They definitely won that deal.
But I mean, Brooklyn are back in the good now with KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
But yes, and then at least my Saints are doing well.
Yeah, I haven't been watching much of the NFL.
Yeah. I think they're like 10-2 at the moment. And
Saints.
Drew Brees is
Holy.
Drew Brees has been injured for like the last 3 weeks.
Jeez, yeah. Well,
so
I think I lost interest. So I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, and
excuse me.
You're right, mate. After that Super Bowl, absolute embarrassment. I went right off it. I was like,
and Tom Brady just dismantled them.
But he's playing like shit this year anyway, so it's alright.
Yeah.
But I remember that we come home. It was like a swimming carnival or something was on that day, and we got to come back and see like the last fucking 5 minutes, and they just came back, and it was a bit disappointing to sit there and watch. But I haven't really kept up with it much outside of that,
Yeah, I've sort of got into it a fair bit since leaving school, but it's hard now because it's literally on Friday mornings, and then like Monday mornings. So it's never on the weekend. You get your college ball on Saturdays and Sundays, but you sort of got to record the games you want to watch. But I hate watching recorded sports events.
It's a bit of a pain.
But yeah, I'm just trying to think if is there anything else you sort of want to cover while you got the opportunity, mate? Is there anyone you want to throw under the bus or?
Oh, throw under the bus? Nah.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't really. I don't know.
Won't be in too much trouble after this with the misso, mate.
Nah, hopefully not. Nah, she'll be right. She said to me before I left, actually, like, don't go airing out dirty laundry when you're there. I was like, nah, you're right, bub.
Oh,
So.
God. And been with Suze for quite a while now, mate.
Yeah,
how many
7 years, nearly 8. So I think it's 8 in May next year. So
be hitting the double digits soon.
hitting the double digits, yeah. So high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
So
All seems to be working out all right for
everything's
you,
working so far, and I think like we just come up for a visit for a few mates and see a couple of people and seeing the sort of lifestyle that they have now. Like they just got a young bub. Susie's best mate has just had a kid, and her partner has bought a house, and it's just a small little house, like 3-bedder, 1 bathroom, but it's a cool little cottage sort of thing. Like, so I think probably be a bit more thought going into what Suze and I want to do in the coming years with what we want to achieve. So like I was saying, like I'd love to live not necessarily out of town on a property or nothing, but I don't know, like 5-10 minutes out of town, a little bit of, a couple of acres. It'd be good fun, I reckon. But
that's what I want, eh? Just a little bit of land away from
town.
Shit show, yeah.
And I think it's, I don't know, like the more you speak to fellas or people in general from like didn't grow up in the city, like that's what so many people want, is just that little bit of land. They just want it just so it's big enough. You don't want it too big where it's going to be dramas to look after it, but
you don't want to be fucking right on your neighbour's doorstep almost.
Like,
yeah, hearing them talk shit about you.
Oh, we got fucking loud neighbours, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wish that young boy next door would stop mowing that lawn.
No, the fella next to us, he's a Sri Lankan fella, I think, and his lawn is schmick, mate. He makes everyone else's look like shit in the street. He's got like the sprinklers that come up out of the ground.
Bullshit.
He's got it all sorted, and he's got good Christmas lights too.
Fuck.
So
he's
got
game,
it all
mate.
going on.
Yeah.
But he gets blows
So he's
up
basically
the boys.
taking the piss right now, yeah.
Mate, it's all right, mate. He just yells at the kids, so I don't know. Can't have it all, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. Sometimes they need a good lecture for the kids.
Yeah, you can sort them out.
Right, mate. Maybe you can, ask him for a few tips.
I'd never. Too much of an ego, mate.
Yeah.
Can't have my pride like that. No, he's alright. He mows down our side, like between our yard and his yard every now and again, and I do the same for him, but I don't know. I reckon he'd probably flog me if I did.
Do it the wrong way or something.
Do it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only allowed to be one person who's nice on this street.
Yeah,
that
that's
does
it.
favours. Yeah. All right. Well, we're sort of hitting, the hour and 8 minute mark. Time flies when you're having fun, mate. Yeah.
Jeez.
But anyway, I guess we can wrap it up there.
Yeah, mate.
Well, thanks for coming on, Lars.
It's been a pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me.
No, mate, anytime. I was talking to Brownie this week, and we're still trying to plan out this Zoom podcast. But and then I heard you're in town. I thought, fuck, I'll get Lars on. It's not often you get one of your mates from school in the same place with all the equipment. You can record a potty. So fucking stoked to get you on, mate. But yeah, thanks for coming.
Cheers, Keano. Cheers
mate,
for having me, mate.
Good. Anytime. Anyway, guys, we'll try and pump this one out. Try and get the audio and video up on YouTube tomorrow night. But hey, shit comes up. So if it doesn't come out by then, I apologise. But yeah, it'll be up for Monday morning. So anyway, we'll end it there. Cheers, guys.